My First Bible presents David Forgives Saul. David, fleeing from Saul, arrived at the city. The priest Ahimelech asked, "Why have you come alone?" "The king's mission is a secret," David replied quickly. "Do you have any food?" "We are starving." The priest gave David the only food he had. "Do you have a weapon?" David asked. The mission was, "I only have the sword of Goliath, the one you killed." David smiled. "That is perfect. Give it to me." Nearby, Doeg the Edomite, Saul's chief shepherd. Later that day, David fled to Gath. The king's officers whispered, "Isn't this the David they..." Terrified of King Achish, David pretended. He scribbled on doors and let his saliva run down. The king shouted, "Why bring this madman to me?" David then escaped to the dark safety of the cave. His family and many troubled men joined him, for 100 in all. David asked the king of Moab to protect his elderly. A prophet warned David, "Go back to the land of Judah." David obeyed and arrived at the thick forest of Hereth. Meanwhile, Saul sat under a tamarisk tree. He cried out, "Is no one on my side? You all can..." Doeg the Edomite spoke up. "I saw David at Nob." Saul was furious and summoned Ahimelech and all his. The priest defended David, saying, "Who is more?" In a rage, Saul ordered his men to kill the priest. The officers refused, but Doeg stepped forward. Only Abiathar, a son of Ahimelech. David wept. "I am responsible for this. Stay with." Later, the Philistines attacked Keilah, and in the city of Gibeah, King Saul sat under a tree. He clutched his spear, accusing his officers of hiding. Doeg the Edomite stepped forward. "I saw David." Saul's face twisted with rage as he summoned the. "Why have you conspired with the son of Jesse?" Saul roared. Ahimelech replied calmly, "David is your most loyal." Saul screamed, "Kill them! Kill all the priests." The king's guards stood still, refusing to touch them. But Doeg took his sword and cruelly struck down 85. Only Abiathar escaped, bringing the terrible news. While David was in the desert, Jonathan came to find him. "Don't be afraid," Jonathan said. "You will be king." They renewed their covenant of friendship before the Lord. Soon, Saul arrived with 3,000 men to hunt. David and his men hid in the back of a large, dark. Saul entered the very same cave, alone. "This is your chance," David's men whispered. "Kill him." Instead, David crept up and quietly cut a piece. Immediately, David felt guilty for touching the king. He told his men, "I will not raise my hand against the Lord." When Saul left the cave, David followed and shouted. Saul turned and saw David bowing with his face. "Why do you believe I want to harm you?" David asked. "The Lord delivered you into my hands today in that. Look at what I have. A piece of your royal robe." David held up the cloth. "I could have killed you, but I didn't. May the Lord judge between us, but my hand will never." Saul began to weep. "David, my son, you have returned good for evil. May the Lord reward you." Saul returned to his palace, and David went back to. David had shown that he was a man of great mercy. He chose to forgive instead of seeking revenge. Be kind like David. Subscribe and hit the like button. Tell us in the comments what you learned from this story. Follow us on social media for more animated Bible. A huge thank you to all our wonderful channel members. Time for shout-outs to our friends around the world. Thank you for watching and supporting My First Bible. We will see you in the next video. Shalom. God bless you all, and keep walking in kindness.